Hello and welcome back to Absurdland. Get ready for unforgettable, rare historical photos and footage that will leave you speechless. Fischklam, Austria, 1938. During Hitler's Austrian tour, footage emerged of his visit to his former elementary school. The building remains intact to this day. At the same time, it presents stunning and horrifying footage of Hitler, thereby emphasizing the extent of hypocrisy surrounding the event. The event was part of Nazi propaganda, reinforcing Hitler's popularity and the regime's legitimacy. However, it was strange and hypocritical because Hitler was revisiting his own school memories while forcefully annexing Austria during the Anschluss. The apparent friendliness of the school visit contradicted the true nature of the Nazi regime, built on violence and intolerance. This was truly appalling, as it showcased the manipulation of innocent sentiments for political gain, further underscoring the sinister nature of the Nazi regime. Now, let's explore the incredible historical photos along with their stories. Juvenile convicts at work in the fields in chain gang. Southern jails made money leasing convicts for labor in the Jim Crow South, circa 1903. Vietnam War. A 6 feet 5 inches machine gunner with the U.S. 9th Infantry Division is submerged except for his rifle as he crosses a muddy stream in the Mekong Delta south of Saigon on 10 September 1968. Mountain of Buffalo Skulls in 1892 at the height of their endangerment. Captured Chinese soldiers beg for their lives to a South Korean soldier, thinking that they are going to be executed. Korea, 1951. Holocaust survivor Yehiel D. Nur faints while testifying at the 1961 trial of Adolf Eichmann, a major organizer of the Holocaust. Allegedly, this is the last picture of Adolf Hitler before he committed suicide on April 30, 1945. In the photo, Hitler is seen with his adjutant, Julius Schaub, looking at the ruins of the Reich Chancellery on April 28, 1945. Shoiki Yokoi, the Japanese soldier who hid in the jungle in Guam for 27 years to avoid capture, weeps upon his return to Japan in February 1972. Jeju citizens awaiting execution during the Jeju Massacre of 1948. The massacre involved the killing of thousands of civilians by South Korean government forces amidst a leftist uprising on the island of Jeju. The mummified body of Egyptian pharaoh Ramesses II, aka Ramesses the Great, or the Great Ancestor, photographed upon its discovery in 1881. Ramesses lived into his 90s, 1303 to 1213 BCE, serving for over 66 years, and is considered by some to have been Egypt's most accomplished pharaoh. Archaeologists dine in the tomb of Pharaoh Ramses XI, 1923. The disarmament of the Argentines after the defeat in the Falklands War, 1982. Roy Bryant and J. Malem, the two men who murdered, tortured, and mutilated Emmett Till, on trial in 1955. The two men were acquitted by an all-white jury and admitted to the murders openly only months later. Late 1800s, early 1900s photo of Napoleon Bonaparte's death mask, modeled from his actual dead face. Voroshilov, Molotov, Stalin, and no one else walking along the banks of the Moscow-Volga Canal, 1937. The Marine and the Kitten. Korean War, 1952. Sign painted on a shop in London to stop it being attacked in anti-German protests, 1915. 1860s photo of Russian General Grigory von Zas, notorious for his brutal role in the still officially denied Circassian genocide that killed from 1 to 1.5 million people. Zas openly encouraged the murder, rape, and torture of Circassian civilians and was known for collecting their body parts. A Muslim woman covers the yellow star of her Jewish neighbor with her veil to protect her, Sarajevo, 1941. This awesome photo is from one of my subscribers, accompanied by this note: Italian soldiers wearing gas masks, shot by my great-grandfather in Italy, 1916. They noticed someone in the background of the photo afterwards, whom they don't know who they are. St. Catherine Drexel, the multi-millionaire American banking family Harris turned voluntarily poor nun, foundress of the HBCU Xavier University in Louisiana, for which she became a target of the Ku Klux Klan, circa 1900. The absolutely massive chain for the Titanic's anchor, 1909. This is an 1892 photo of a hot potato vendor on the streets of Manhattan. These potatoes were also known as Mickeys, and besides providing a quick snack, they were often carried in pockets and used as hand warmers on cold winter days. Before the creation of the EPA, New York was one of America's most polluted cities, 1966. Rare photo of British Army veteran Norval Sinclair Marley, white Jamaican officer who was the father of Jamaican reggae singer Bob Marley, 1930s. Imperial Japanese soldiers climbed the Great Wall of China, 1937. The German Paris gun, also known as the Kaiser Wilhelm gun, was the largest gun of World War I. In 1918, the Paris gun shelled Paris from 120 kilometers, 75 miles, away. Workmen remove a Ferrari Dino 246 GTS that was found buried in the yard of a home in Los Angeles, February 1978. The car has been reported stolen in 1974. A photo of John Quincy Adams, the first ever president to be photographed, over 14 years after he left his office in August 1, 1843. Hiroshima after the atomic bomb, Japan, 1945, depicted a haunting landscape of devastation, marking a tragic chapter in human history and prompting profound reflections on the consequences of warfare. Amateurs talk tactics, professionals study logistics, General Omar Bradley. Omaha Beach, June 9, 1944. Portrait of a young man with facial scars, Africa circa 1900. A young Anne Lockley holds a tea party with a baby hawk and spiny lobster on the island of Stockholm, 1938. Multnomah Falls in 1918. Multnomah Falls offered a breathtaking sight with its surrounding forests and mountains. Otto Frank, Anne Frank's father, with fellow soldiers 1915 to 1916. (1929) Boarding of British airship R-101. This would likely be the airship's last voyage as it crashed shortly after in France. Buster Keaton, Roscoe Arbuckle, and Al St. John, 1918. Once his deadpan persona became established, Keaton avoided smiling in front of a camera. Flattening hills to build Seattle, 1905 to 1930. Between 1905 and 1930, Seattle underwent significant urban development, including the flattening of hills to accommodate its expanding infrastructure and cityscape. Berlin after World War II saw widespread destruction and subsequent reconstruction efforts, reshaping the city's landscape and identity. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.